Good morning. Um, Hi, Will. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Good to see
And
you.
good morning to the folks on Facebook and on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about self compassion. I always point to it whenever I teach on these Sunday mornings. Um, but today we're going to spend some more time on it. And if you were to look for a thread through everything I'm teaching, that's it. The central message and everything that I'm teaching is self-compassion, being kind and gentle with yourself. That is the path forward. We learn from an early age that being hard on ourselves is supposed to be motivating somehow, I guess. um, it's not, and we're going to get into that. But first, let's meditate. Let's start by finding a comfortable meditation posture where you can be alert and awake at the same time. Where nothing is blocking your energy flow or shortening your breaths. If you're sitting upright, just so that your back is straight but relaxed, not rigid, tuck in your chin a little bit, and that straightens your top vertebrae in your neck without straining the muscles in your neck and your shoulders. Just being aware of the sensations in your body in the present moment. There's nothing happening outside this moment. And you can notice the sensations of your feet on the floor if you're sitting in a chair. The contact point. Noticing the sensations on your bottom in contact with the cushion or the chair. The sensations of your hands resting on your lap. The way that feels on your legs. The way that feels on your hands. ambient temperature in the room. The sensations of the body breathing in and out. Now let's take a few slow, deep breaths. Just settle in. And on the out breath, just continue to settle into your seat. Let your body relax. Long, slow, deep breath in, about 3/4. And pause for just a second at the top of the in-breath and notice the body transitioning to an out-breath as you breathe out. And at the bottom of the exhale, just pause for just a second. Notice your body transitioning to an in-breath. And letting your breathing return to normal. Just noticing the sensations of the body breathing in and out. Now let your attention rest and focus on the body breathing. Reminding yourself that nothing is happening. You're just sitting here in the present moment, in the simplicity of this moment. You can focus on the sensation of the air moving in and out of your nose. Some people focus on the sensations of the chest or the belly, expanding and contracting. You can focus on the overall experience of sensations of the body, breathing in and out. When your mind wanders off in thought, as it will, it's okay. That's what it does. When you notice, just gently, compassionately remind yourself, I'm just sitting here in this moment, and bring your attention back to your breathing. Thoughts arise, feelings arise, sensations come and go. And although thoughts seem to bring us to a different time and place, we can return to the simplicity of just being in this moment, breathing in and out, this body sitting here. And as we come to the end of this sitting, I invite you to imagine and bring to mind a friend, a loved one, who may be struggling, having a difficult time. And all the compassion and kindness that you might bring to that person in that situation. All the love, all the empathy. Now, in your mind's eye, I invite you to be sitting where you see that other person, and now to direct all that same compassion and love to you. To accept the same compassion and generate the same compassion for yourself as you would for anybody else. And allow yourself to receive the compassion and empathy and generosity that you would otherwise offer to anyone else who's struggling or suffering. Offering that to yourself in this moment. May it be that the benefits of this practice enable us to open our hearts to compassion for others, for ourselves, for the world at large. May the benefits of this practice be of benefits to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease and at peace. Thank you for your practice. I thought I'd start off from a quote I came upon by Sabine Selassie in a Q&A on meditation in Tricycle magazine, who said, "In meditation, we are invited not to judge what's going on for us, but rather to be in relationship with whatever is happening, with a sense of kindness and commitment." I like that. That's a good lead in to today's discussion of self-compassion. Suzuki Roshi, the founder of the San Francisco Zen Center, was once asked, "What is enlightenment?" And he had what I thought was a great answer. He said, "Realization is imperfection without anxiety." We all lead lives of imperfection. And it's too easy to just land there and focus on that with this desire and wish to be better or wish to be different, this feeling that we're not okay and that we're not enough. It's a compassionate approach to our own lives. And when I was still working as a therapist, I thought this was the common cause of therapy, this tendency to be hard on ourselves. And I heard this story once from Levine. The way he described it is you're sitting in a restaurant and you hear a conversation going on behind you. And it's brutal, it's mean, and cruel, and critical, and not cutting a break of any kind. And it's so harsh that you turn around to see who it is. It turns out it's your mind talking to you. We do that. It's an epidemic of trying to be better, trying to be different. And it really is an epidemic. In her book, Radical Acceptance, which I highly recommend, Tara Brach quoted Mother Teresa. Now, Mother Teresa worked in the slums of Calcutta, India, in the worst slums in the third world, and came away from that saying, and I quote, "The biggest disease today is not leprosy or tuberculosis, but rather this feeling of not belonging." It's everywhere. I was on a meditation retreat some years ago when one of the teachers quoted that quote from Suzuki Roshi. It said, "The path to awakening is self-acceptance, and the path to self-acceptance is self-compassion." Now, I say self-compassion rather than self-esteem. I think self-esteem is overrated. It implies a kind of pressure to feel good. The problem with our obsession with self-esteem is that that pressure leads us to feel that we're not doing whatever it is well enough. The pressure to do more or to be more simply makes it harder for us to appreciate ourselves as who we are and what we're doing and what we've already achieved. Part makes it harder to appreciate ourselves for the traumas that we've survived with just getting up and showing up when depression or anxiety make us feel like we're wading through molasses every day up to our knees. And during these times, when we feel like we're falling short, as we all do, when life feels hard, this obsession with self-esteem makes it harder to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, accept ourselves as we are in this moment. And instead of, I have to be better, how about, it's okay, it's okay. The same way you offer to a child who's crying. I've talked occasionally about the second arrow. But what if we have another second arrow? The second arrow metaphor, I can't remember the name of the teacher who brought that forward. It'll come to me. It's okay. It'll probably come to me later on today after I'm done with this. The first arrow is the wound. We're wounded, we're hurt, we're grieving, we're suffering. And the second arrow, and that's, life just happens, presents itself. The second arrow is the self-inflicted wound of being hard on ourselves and telling ourselves we're not okay because of whatever we're experiencing. But self-compassion is the balm for that wound. Balm, B-A-L-M, not B-O-M-B. I've had somebody come back to me with that once. Self-compassion is the emotional safety net that we can offer ourselves in times when we're feeling less than good, whatever that may be. And Don Miguel Ruiz, in his book, The Four Agreements, pointed to this in the fourth agreement of the Four Agreements, which is always do your best. And he described that as whatever you're doing now. I may have done this better last week because the conditions were different last week, and I may do this better next week, but causes and conditions will be better next week. I'm doing the best I can. It's good enough. And it's as simple as offering ourselves the same kindness and compassion that we would offer to anybody else. Now, I've had some pushback on this from time to time. As compassion is a form of self-pity. No, it's not. Self-pity paralyzes us is when we get stuck in the rut and we can't move and we're all focused on whatever we perceive is wrong. And we may go through some period of that. What that calls for is compassion. You wouldn't walk up to your best friend and snap out of it. You would offer them some kindness. And it's not weakness to be compassionate with yourself. There's this thing in the Judeo-Christian Western culture, I think it starts with Calvinism, that we have to be hard on ourselves to be motivated. I don't buy into that at all. There's a boatload of research in child psychology that says children are better motivated by encouragement and kindness than they are by being hard and withholding. And self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It's kindness. It's a way of opening the door to the energy we need to move forward through whatever situation we're in without being paralyzed. And it's not narcissistic, it's not selfish when we just accept ourselves as we are, because I can't let go of anything that I haven't embraced first. We can only begin to change when we accept ourselves as we are and not exclude any aspect of ourselves from our gaze. We have to look directly at whatever difficult aspects of ourselves that are hard to look at. And only then can we grasp what we have to do to change and move forward. And if we do that with harshness, anger, and self-rejection, we're stuck in place with that because that's just an amplifier to the difficult feelings that we all encounter. Self-compassion is the path forward. So, I have a little exercise for y'all to do in your spare time today. Take a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and draw a line down the middle. At the top, write down the name of somebody you know who is struggling, having a difficult time. On one side of the page, write down all the things you would say to that person. On the other side of the page, write down all the things you typically say to yourself in similar difficulties. Compare, contrast, toss the ones that aren't gentle. Keep the ones that encourage you to move forward. So, I invite you to be kind and gentle with yourself. Thank you for your kind attention. comments, witticisms?
I like your assignment. I'll give that a try.
I lifted that from Kristen Neff, who wrote the book. It's called Self-Compassion. And if you go to her website, self-compassion, I think it's .org, might be .com, I'm pretty sure it's .org, you'll find a lot of similar exercises. Try it out. So, thank you. I'll see y'all next week.